have been following it with the Our Hospital project and with the Jersey Care model. We're going to provide you hopefully with a bit of an overview, and we're going to follow with a question and answer period and give you all a chance to participate. I realize that soccer is looming, so we're going to try and get through as close to 8 o'clock as we can, and if you wish to leave and not stay for the question and answers, that would be fine. First, this evening, I am pleased to introduce you to Sir Philip Bailhache, who we all know very, very well. Philip, as we know, served as our bailiff from 1995 to 2009. He then, having presided over our courts and our State's Assembly, he bravely ran for senator when most of us would have seriously retired. And he was elected as senator in 2011. He stood down in our last election, before our last election in 2018. He has been a steadfast friend of Friends of our new hospital and a supporter for some years, and we're very appreciative of his coming along tonight to say a few words to us. Sir Philip.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and may I begin by thanking the Friends of our new hospital for their invitation to say a few words at the beginning of this public meeting. Like many of you, I have long admired the approach of the Friends to the hospital project, even as to the naming of the organisation, which makes it clear that the object is to offer friendly, constructive criticism and advice, which should always be welcome. The bulletins, which are published from time to time, are absolute models of succinct and informative prose, which identify issues upon which there are concerns and invite responses. If only the impenetrable reports accompanying the Jersey Care model proposition had had a Friends-type bulletin explaining what it was all about. It is disappointing that the reaction to this constructive criticism is not always as positive as it should be. Indeed, I would go further and say that unless we get greater transparency from the Health Department and the hospital project team, I fear that we are heading for a collision which will be damaging for Jersey. Like many others, I am sure, I read with incredulity the reaction of the health officials attending the Public Accounts Committee last week, who stated that a performance report will not be published because the document might be presented in a way that could be sensationalized by the media. Nothing, it seems to me, is more likely to lead to a sensation than a refusal to publish a report on the performance of those who have decided not to publish it. The whole purpose of a performance report is to enable comments and criticisms to be made which will hopefully improve performance. Another reason given for the failure to publish the report was that it might put people off from using health services. But if the report does reveal a poor performance in a particular section, surely the public is entitled to know about it. It is up to that section to put matters right and to persuade the public that they have done so. That is the whole point of these reviews. What do ministers think about this? The Minister of Health has been strangely silent, and one wonders whether he had in fact been consulted by his officials before this extraordinary decision was taken. And the Chief Minister has yet to give any assurance that the report itself will be published. Sadly, this fear of criticism, or even worse, indifference to it, seems to be endemic in the health department. It may be one of the causes of the lack of transparency, which has now become serious enough to threaten democratic processes. It is for all these reasons that I welcome this public meeting and the determination of the Friends Group to draw attention to issues which deserve discussion. Having been in government myself, I do appreciate the difficulty of distinguishing white noise, the clamour made by a small minority of disaffected individuals, from genuine discontent and serious concerns on the part of most of the public. I accept that it is not always easy to make that distinction. I can only say that most of the people to whom I have spoken think that Overdale is not the right place to build a hospital. In fact, many of them think that it would be an environmental disaster of major proportions. The site selection process was a cynical and indefensible travesty of the way in which democracy should take place. It is more than disappointing that a majority of states members succumbed and agreed to approve the site at Overdale. The question is, what, if anything, can now be done? I do not know the answer to that question, but the presence of a relatively large number of people on a night when football is calling us in other directions is evidence that there is a real public interest and concern about these issues. And I do know that informed public debate about the Jersey care model, about its implications for primary care and hospital treatments, about exactly what kind of hospital we are going to get, and the environmental and financial consequences of building a hospital at Overdale is long overdue. It seems to me that the government should recognise that fact and share its thinking on this, the largest and most important investment of public money ever undertaken in Jersey's history. Something has gone badly wrong when a meeting to inform the residents of St Helier about the new road collapses because the residents are dissatisfied with the information that they have been given. Something has gone badly wrong when the president of the Jersey Bowling Club must write to the Jersey Evening Post complaining that his club, about to lose its 100-year-old home to a new highway, may disintegrate simply because of the uncertainty surrounding its future premises. Despite all the expensive consultants and officials engaged, the whole process has been very badly handled. Surely the Bowls Club premises issue could have been settled before the states decided on Overdale. Surely they could have decided how many people would lose their homes before the debate. There is a carelessness and an ignorance of Jersey values about the whole hospital project which are deeply disturbing. This is not how things ought to be done, nor how we should be feeling about a project which should be uniting islanders in enthusiasm. So I am delighted, ladies and gentlemen, to open the conference, and I look forward very much to the discussion which is to come. Thank you.